You guys are watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey, answering all of your questions here on our mailbag, filmed on Monday's live, called Slapsgiving Show. We're going to get some super thanks here off the top. People who have donated on demand. Thank you all so much. Click the little $ in the heart. You can send a message, and we'll always give you a shout out. Stephen Goltz, how's that tie collection coming along, Jeremy? You almost got another one in the Colts-Vikings game. We're all getting Jeremy ties for Christmas this year, folks. Thank you very much, Stephen, for that super thanks. Some more here that are coming in or came in, I should say, as well. There was some drama with the Remy Gordon, Jay Elam football battle. Jay Elam said he was out, and then he got back in late after Remy had left, and then Remy came in post-game, $50. So Remy wins. Both Remy and Jay are getting a football because I'm trying to do the right thing, but Remy is our official MVP. You can throw an MVP in the comments. Jason Farley, $2, just says thanks. Appreciate that, my friend. Thank you, Jeremy. And Edwin Strickland, how about Moore Alarcon? Now, I asked Edwin who he meant by G. Moore. I still don't know who he means, but in terms of offensive line adjustments, they're not going to play Isaac Alarcon. He's actually not eligible to be a game day call-up from the practice squad, and he's not ready or good enough to be a key player. This will be your offensive line, I think, down the stretch. It's going to be Tyler Smith, Connor McGovern, Biotis, Zach Martin, Tyron Smith. I'm worried about Tyler, hoping Tyron continues to make the adjustment to right tackle. Peters is your swing tackle, and then Josh Ball never has to play snaps that matter, and that's what I want in the end. So be honest with me, folks. What is your confidence level right now in the offensive line? Because I'm not that high. It reminds me of last year where the pocket's not that well protected. The ground game's having that many holes. I'm a little bit worried about it. How are you, though? 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. It's the pinned comment on today's show, so you know the drill. Ad break comes here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there. Let me know. Andrew Vanderpool says TY would have caught that last pass. Just saying. Probably. Now, TY did not play. I'm also still more mad about the defensive performance, but can't drop that ball, Noah. You play good beyond it. I mean, you got to catch it every time. There's no reason to ever drop it. Mark Soder, likelihood that Zeke is out after this year. I'll say this. I don't think he's back at his current contract. It's too much money for a guy averaging 4.1 yards per carry. Should never pay that much for average results, despite how good he is as a pass protector and in the red zone. If so, that's okay. If so, what running back do you want to see replace him? Let's see what's on the board. A lot of good backs this year. It's a good class, assuming guys do turn pro. NIL does change things some. Bijan, Gibbs, Evans. If you can get Bijan late round 1, I'm actually okay with it, but not spending, a top 15 pick on him. All right, Andrew Summers, Mike McCarthy equals Josh McDaniel. People be talking. He's not as bad as McDaniels. Look, Mike has flaws and concerns. I acknowledge those. If they lose to the Bucs in the playoffs, I want him fired. But he is the first Cowboys coach since Chan Gailey, of all people, to lead the Cowboys to back-to-back playoffs. That should mean something. Aiden Diggs' burner account. My hopes of beating Philly went down, but they did barely beat Chicago. You've also barely beaten Houston. It's the NFL. Sometimes you don't cover the spread when maybe you think you should, but I need better results and overall. Now, the hopes of beating Philly went up in light of the apparent Jalen Hurts shoulder injury, but, it's still not a gimme game, and maybe would have felt better I think we would feel better deep down if the Cowboys beat Philly with Hurts, but I would like to beat them so I could potentially rest some guys down the stretch. Are you wasting money on subscriptions? 80% of people, Americans, have subscriptions that they forgot about. Maybe it was an unused Amazon Prime account or a Hulu account that never gets streamed. There's this great app that I use called Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. It helps me track all my expenses. Because of it, I no longer waste money on subscriptions that I don't even use anymore. The app shows all your subscriptions in one place and cancels for you whatever you don't still want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you didn't know you were paying for. You may even find out you've been double charged for a subscription. To cancel a subscription, all you have to do is press cancel. That's it. Rocket Money takes care of the rest. Get rid of useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. Go to rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. It could save you hundreds per year, folks. It's rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. Don't waste money anymore. Use Rocket Money instead. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. Aja Pawar, O-line and wide receiver separation, the two biggest problems on the offense no one's talking about. So we're going to solve the latter problem. I agree. The ground game is an issue which ties to the offensive line. Your receivers aren't getting open. Beyond CeeDee Lamb, there are just constant contested tight window throws which can lead to interceptions. You want your quarterback to throw guys open. He can. Did it for Peyton Hendershot. Those are tough throws, guys. The easy buttons for the receiving core are not there right now. You got to get open more, and Gallup's not quite back and isn't getting separated. Great contested guy at least, but they got to be better, plain and simple. Chris B., Tom, do you truly deep down believe in the Cowboys? I kind of don't. That loss just reminded me of the Cowboys last year down the stretch. I agree. I don't believe in them right now. They proved me wrong, and I don't get me wrong. I desperately hope that they do. But we've seen this song and dance before. Like, can't have it. You got to win games. So as good as your offense has been, even with the interceptions, it's not going to change the narrative if they don't win some damn playoff games. Go do it, and I'll believe in you again. Luke Heaton, our cornerback 2 situation. If nothing changes, I think we lose against the Eagles and Washington. Even if Joe doesn't play, and Kelvin and Nahshon both got cooked easy. I do think the Nahshon Wright touchdown was on him, not Deron Bland. I think that Wright thought it was zone and Bland thought it was man. I'm pretty sure it's man down there. So, yeah, they got to be better. I am very worried about cornerback 2. Esports Nerd, where are James Washington and TY? Washington played 4 snaps. I tried to warn you that he's just not that good. And the Cowboys seem to agree. They're saying ramp up, whatever. He's just not great right now. I'd like to see TY play this week if he's ready. He needs ramp up time too. Again, my concern is that you waited till December to really try to fix your receiving core issue. Probably means you're not going to fix it. Pick a receiver to be your lead wide receiver 3. NB for Noah Brown, JW for James Washington, or TY for TY Hilton. Pick that wide receiver for me in the comment section. Andrew Summers again. Hate Todd McShay's latest mock. Don't see edge as a need. I think it was Lucas Van Ness is who he picked for them. I think he picked the Iowa player. My issue with the mock, and I agree, was the argument was made was so that you can, quote, let Micah move around and play off-ball linebacker. No. Why would you take away one of the NFL's best pass rushers to have him do things he's not as good at and less impactful at? It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. So I agree. If you want to go get a defensive tackle, let's ride. Cornerback's a huge need right now, but no, I'm not drafting edge in round 1. Roy Williams, fun fact: we drafted Kelvin Joseph over Asante Samuel and start Trayvon Mullen on Saturday. And they might ride with Mullen. I got to try something. I will say, they did draft Kelvin Joseph over Asante Samuel. I will say, I'm actually not that bent out of shape over it. They were not considering Asante Samuel. He doesn't fit their size thresholds that they want. Dan Quinn doesn't want someone of Asante Samuel's arm length. So I had Samuel higher than Joseph. I know many of you guys did as well. I wanted Samuel over him. I knew they weren't going to take him. That's not how the Cowboys like to do business at the wide receiver position, or the corner position. So, yeah, I'm pulling up the exact numbers here right now in terms of where he was drafted. It was Kelvin Joseph, 44, Asante Samuel, 47. I would have taken Samuel. Cowboys just simply weren't going to. I disagree with why, but they were not going to. If you guys want more Cowboys videos, that's news, rumors, updates, previews, live watch parties, we got you guys covered. Hit that sub button right now here for free on the Cowboys Report. From DeLunatic, can we save second-rounder Kelvin Joseph? Oh, air quotes, save. I don't know. Because this was his chance, right? This was the shot for Kelvin Joseph against not great receivers for Houston and against Zay Jones and Marvin Jones. Mostly Zay Jones, who, again, if we're being honest, are not premier receivers. Not like your guarding Devontae Smith. And he got cooked in both games. He's been bad. So my confidence in Boss Man Fat is 0. I have no confidence whatsoever. And I think you got to try something else at cornerback too this week. Whether it's Nahshon Wright, Trayvon Mullen, do something else. Nate Lopez, Jalen Hurts might not play against Dallas now. Yes, we're filming this on Monday, of course, part of our live show. The news as it came out, as we're filming this, was that Jalen Hurts has suffered a throwing shoulder sprain. Reports he might miss 2 games, might not play the rest of the regular season, and now you're kicking yourself because you're going, we could have won the NFC, so got the number 1 seed if we had just not choked against either Green Bay or Jacksonville. But now you need the Cowboys to win out and the Eagles to lose out. And even without Jalen Hurts, seems highly unlikely. From Not Jeremy Chuggs' burner, why not keep Peters at right tackle, Tyron at left tackle, and Tyler at left guard? That's what I wanted to do. The Cowboys, I guess, don't want to shuffle so much so quickly and have 3 new starters in there, but I kind of think Tyler's being a bit of a problem at left tackle, and his issues are much less noticeable when he's at left guard, or I think would play left guard. So I don't really want to see. I think that's what they're going to ride with. I wouldn't mind seeing your suggestion, though. From Man City, why not bring back Dez, sign Sammy Watkins? To answer your question without being a turd, because it was a rough Sunday for all of us, Dez is not playing in the NFL again. I'm sorry, that time has passed. Dez is a future Cowboys Ring of Honor member. I think the Cowboys erred with where they handled that whole situation, but let the past die. Like, it is long past time for Dez to be a contributor. For Sammy Watkins, look, it's try something, I guess, but like he's washed. He hasn't been good in a very long time. The Cowboys were lucky they did not sign Sammy Watkins when they cut Dez, or were going to cut Dez. That would have been a nightmare outcome because he's been horrible since then. I don't think either guy's the answer, frankly. All right, now Dez is an actual Cowboys legend, but the bit of Cowboys legends, i.e. players who at one point in time played for Dallas, whether they were good or not, drop that player name for me in the comments section. Name a random Cowboys legend. From Vince, the Cowboys want the Vikings fraud so bad in the wild card round, so they go in for the 7 seed. They probably end up with the Purdy Niners. So I think you play a dangerous game if you try to tank for the 7 seed and lose games, right? Which is probably sitting your starters. Now you might be a bit rusty. I think Minnesota will play better in the playoffs. What I want to do is get the 1 seed and win the division, right? Just set yourself up. Ignore the schedule component because you can't control that. What would end up happening is if you try to tank out for the 7 seed, is what would happen is the Niners would then get the 2 seed somehow, and then you got to play Niners. I don't want to play San Francisco. That team is built to beat a team like the Cowboys. I don't want to play them if I can avoid them. So just take care of business. Get your team organized and set up here, and go win what you can. If it's the 5 seed, fine. Be the 5 seed, beat Tampa, and then let's see what happens. Chris Snow, can the Falcons or Panthers beat out the Bucs and the Cowboys play them instead? I would like that. I really would. Because I would much rather play Desmond Ridder and Sam Darnold instead of Tom Brady, because it's Brady. That's the bad man, right? So I'm not getting my hopes up for that. Tampa could collapse. Falcons had a chance to beat the Saints, and they kind of blew it. I'm not getting my hopes up, frankly. And last question, Super Chat. It was almost an all Super Chat mailbag. Adam Hicks, do you see getting any of the injured players back for the playoffs? LVE is injured. He will return. And the Cowboys have said that Jonathan Hankins, it will be back for the postseason. But, Matt Farniok could come back at some point, but he hasn't yet, so I'm not getting my hopes up there. But Hankins and LVE are the ones to keep an eye out for. If we missed your questions, it's okay. Hit me up on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. My DMs are open. Slide on in for any questions that you guys have.